This is Max Eternity, and I'm here with Christiane Paul. She is a curator at the Whitney Museum, and she's also an educator teaching at the New School in New York. Christiane has written a number of books about new media, digital art. One book is called Digital Art, published by Thames and Hudson. And she's also written a book called New Media in the White Cube and Beyond. Christiane, thank you so much for joining me.
Sure. Thanks a lot for having me.
I'd like to start by reading part of the back cover on your book, Digital Art. It says, digital technology has revolutionized the way we produce and experience art today. Not only have traditional art forms such as printing, painting, photography, and sculpture been transformed by digital techniques and media, but entirely new forms such as net art, software art, digital installations, and virtual reality have emerged as recognized artistic practices. If you could speak to these new forms as recognized artistic practices and how art is produced and experienced today. If you could just talk a little bit about that, Christiane.
Sure. I think digital technologies have changed artistic practice in numerous ways, and there are two main categories: art that uses digital technologies as a tool in the production of, let's say, a photograph or a painting or a sculpture. We're seeing a lot of that in the galleries right now, but of course it doesn't necessarily change the status of the art object. There is an aesthetic impact, but we're still dealing with objects in a gallery. I think the most radical change has been happening in the area of artistic practice that uses digital technologies as a medium, and that is inherently real-time, participatory, interactive, generative, and uses all of the features of the digital medium. I'm talking here about art that has been created by digital technologies, is stored by means of them, and distributed by means of them. And again, we're looking at numerous practices. As you have mentioned, this type of art can range from net art to virtual reality or interactive networked installations.
And even sculpture as well.
Yes, so that would be the category of using digital technologies as a tool for the creation of a more traditional sculpture. Of course, a sculpture could also be interactive and networked and have real-time components. So what changes here is, on the one hand, the distribution of the work. For example, when it comes to net art, the art might be accessible over the internet. It might not need the museum or the gallery as an access point anymore. And even if it is shown within the traditional gallery context, we're talking about radically different aesthetics. It's not that all of the characteristics of the digital medium are there or present in any type of work, but potentially we're seeing works that are created by the audience in collaboration with an artist, where the artist or artist team establishes a framework and the audience contributes to it or creates the art. Or the art may be assembled in real time in front of the viewer's eyes. And all of that very radically questions the notion of the traditional art object. It changes both the aesthetics and how we used to think about art.